Hello everyone, this is Colleen Lemma, angelic astrologer and spiritual consultant with angelmessenger.net, here to do your weekly angel card reading for Monday, September 8th through Sunday, September 14th, 2014. So this is definitely going to be a busier week astrologically than it was last week. Before we get into the astrology of the week, though, I want to remind you that the monthly angel card reading for September is also up, and it would certainly be well worth watching because it's definitely a powerful month of energy that's happening. And the reason it reminds me to kind of bring that up again is because we start off this week on Monday the 8th with a full moon in Pisces at 16 degrees. And this is called the harvest moon. The full moon that's in September is always called the harvest moon because traditionally it was when farmers would, go and kind of bring in the harvest with their crops. And so with that analogy in mind, here we're kind of bringing in the harvest of all the hard work that we've put forth over this past year. So if you think about spring being a time of planting new seeds and the summer is time when things kind of grow and expand, now we're kind of, into the fall or autumn time period when we're starting to gather the blessings that have come from the planting of those seeds earlier in the year. So again, this is the harvest full moon. It's in Pisces, and I kind of get a sense and a message from my guides and angels that it's kind of a time of surrender, when you have a Piscean influence here, and with this full moon being that kind of powerful energy that's kind of welling up. Pisces is a very go with the flow kind of energy. You can't really direct Pisces, it's a water sign, and you can't really hold on to water or direct water. It goes where it wants to go. So the message I've gotten for this full moon, again, that starts off our week, is to go with the flow and surrender to the divine plan. Put out your intentions, yes, but ask the universe to bring you whatever's in your highest and best interest, and then be open to that. Because you might get something even better than you could have even possibly dreamt of for yourself. On Tuesday, September 9th, we have Mercury, the planet that rules communication and thoughts, and it's in a challenging aspect to Pluto, which rules transformation and transition and death and rebirth and power and control issues. So we might actually, and you might even feel this on Monday as well, since you'll just be coming off that full moon in Pisces. So Monday and Tuesday, you're going to be feeling this perhaps irritation in your thinking processes, perhaps feeling overwhelmed with things that are going on, and you might possibly have some power and control issues with communicating with others. So that's just something to be aware of, because we always have a choice of how we use the energies. And rather than allowing Mercury and that challenging aspect to Pluto to kind of come out that way to where there's challenging communications with other people, or that you're having your own challenge with your thoughts that are going around in your head, direct that instead towards take that powerful energy and direct it towards what you need to get done, or direct it towards coming up with new ideas as far as where you want to go next or what has to be done next. So just try to channel it in a more positive way. And then on Wednesday the 10th, now again, you're going to be feeling this on the 9th as well, but on Wednesday the 10th, Venus, the planet of love and relationships, comes into an opposition to Neptune in Pisces. And of course, Neptune in Pisces is that very elusive energy. It's mystical energy and spiritual energy, but sometimes it's confusing energy as well. And Venus in Virgo, again, Venus doesn't really necessarily like to be in that sign of Virgo. So with those two planets kind of opposing one another, you might find that there's strange or unusual circumstances in your relationships with other people, especially love relationships or relationships with females. You might have to, again, just kind of adopt this go with the flow kind of attitude. There might also be, because Neptune is Neptune and Pisces can be very fantasy-like with its energies, you might also have these very strong affectionate feelings or love interest in somebody almost to an uncontrollable state, almost like it's this this fantasy of a relationship, or what you create in your head. It's almost like wearing rose-colored glasses with each other. So, that's just something to pay attention to. It's not necessarily a negative, but you don't want to make major life decisions based on that particular energy. Instead, you want to kind of wait till that energy passes and the energies kind of clear up a little bit, and you can see things a little bit more clearly in regards to relationship matters. On Saturday the 13th, and there's a couple of things going on here. The first is that Mercury is going to be in opposition now to Uranus, and you're going to be feeling that even as early as on Friday, because it happened so early in the day, Eastern Daylight Time, on Saturday. So Mercury, again, about your communication, your thoughts, your ideas, your intellect, and it's opposing Uranus, and Uranus is kind of that sudden, unexpected redirection of energies, or the unusual or exciting. So I get the sense that Friday and Saturday you're going to have a lot of ideas streaming forth. You're going to be channeling information through. You're going to have a lot of maybe exciting communications with other people, or some exciting news or information or communication that comes to you out of the blue that you weren't expecting. So that can be really an exciting type of energy. With the opposition, it's always with like other people in your lives. So, whether it be your coworkers, your boss, your family, your loved ones, your friends, it's usually an energy to where it's going to come from outside of yourself. Which is why also outside of yourself means from universe, God, your angels, and guides. So you're really going to be intuitive that day. So if you are doing any intuitive writing or speaking, or you're even doing, readings or trying to get intuitive information for yourself, that's going to be a really good time period. The other thing happening on Saturday, the 13th, is that Mars, the planet that rules our forward momentum, our physical energy, it rules our ability to assert ourselves. It's moving out of Scorpio, and it's moving into the sign of Sagittarius. Now, I think it's going to be a lot more happy in Sagittarius because Mars is a fire planet and Sagittarius is a fire sign. So it's going to be excited to be there. The only thing is that it might be almost too much energy sometimes to handle. There's going to be a lot going on, a lot happening fast, a lot of fast movement. With it going into Sagittarius, which again isn't necessarily a negative thing, but just be ready for this more fast-paced energy as it moves out of Scorpio, the water sign, and into that mutable, changeable fire sign Sagittarius. And then to round out the week on Sunday the 14th, again, another aspect that you're probably going to feel as early as Saturday the 13th. But on Sunday the 14th, the planet Venus, again ruling love and relationships, is in a positive aspect now to Pluto. So I feel like you're going to be feeling much more empowered. Venus is in Virgo, Pluto's in Capricorn. Those are earth signs. So on a physical level, on a career level, on a material level, this is more of an earthly level, that you're going to feel much more a sense of power and standing in your truth and being solid with what you want to do and where you want to go. And again, this can be in career, but it can also be within relationship matters as well. Okay, so now your stones of choice for your special message this week are, we have celestite, which is a very high vibrational stone that kind of puts you in touch with guides and angel communications. I believe it vibrates to both the throat chakra as well as the crown chakra, so good with communication, either speaking communication or communication from an otherworldly source like God, source, universe, as it comes through the crown chakra. So again, celestite. Your second stone of choice is ametrine, and ametrine is a combination of amethyst and citrine. So the amethyst is, again, a crown chakra type of stone. It's good for dreams. It's good for opening your consciousness up to divine guidance and other perspectives. And the citrine deals with your solar plexus, your source, your sense of willpower, and confidence too. And then the last stone of choice is lapis. Lapis is a third eye stone. So this is a stone that opens up your psychic perceptions, your clairvoyance, even your clairaudience, and allows you to see things from a very intuitive perspective, deepening that connection with your inner wisdom. Now, all these stones, I feel I tried to choose stones that emulate, in some sense to me, the water element, since we have a full moon in Pisces to begin out the week. So again, your stones of choice are celestite, ametrine, and lapis. We are using Doreen Virtue's Angel Tarot deck to get your messages this week. And your special message card, depending on the stone that you choose, is going to be from the Archangel Michael Oracle card deck this week. And we're going to give our deck here, the Angel Tarot deck, a shuffle and ask for our archangels, all of the angels, our guides, master guides, and teachers of the light, the ascended masters, the healers of the light, to come in to provide us with whatever messages, wisdom, and knowledge is in our highest and best interest to know for this week, September 8th through September 14th. Okay, so this one is sticking out for the first card of the week. And we're going to choose this one for the second card. And this one's for the third card for the week. Okay, let's see what the angels have to tell us. So this is interesting. This is Major Arcana number 13, and if I recall correctly, this card was in the September monthly angel card reading. So it comes up again. This, again, is Major Arcana 13, which relates to the death card in the traditional tarot, which is about death and rebirth of old energies, not necessarily a physical death, although sometimes it can be related as such. But this is Archangel Azrael, and the message at the bottom says, the end of a phase or situation, spiritual transformation, and time to move on. So I find this interesting that it came up in the monthly angel card reading, and for this week, ending on the 14th, which is about mid-month, it comes up again. So this is again telling me that this particular week is a turning point for us. It's a turning point of huge energies, huge death and rebirth, releasing old energies, stepping into new energies. Again, from the September reading earlier, we have a lot of fast-moving energies this month. So there's definitely going to be situations, circumstances, perhaps even relationships that are either being released and let go because they're no longer serving your best and highest interest, or they need to change and transition in some way, shape, or form because the way they're operating now is no longer serving your best and highest interest. Let's look at the second card to get more information for the week. Okay, the second card is the Seven of Air, and this says plans that need revision, more going on than meets the eye, and poor timing. Now, whenever I think of the seven, it's about our internal ego thoughts, and the air element definitely is about communication. So in this way, I do believe this is about our own thought processes. And with the first card, again, being the release card with Major Arcana 13, I feel like at least in part here, we're dealing with our own belief systems. This is what this is telling me, is that our own inner way of communicating with ourselves, our thought processes that we might hold, our belief systems that we have about ourselves and about our lives, need to undergo a transformation. And, I think we all have times where we vacillate back and forth. We sometimes vacillate into the ego mind of anxieties and fears, and other times we can stand tall and confident in our spiritual selves with positive thoughts and beliefs. But there's definitely something going on here this week, mid-month, to where we're needing to take a look at some of those old, outmoded ideas and beliefs and thoughts about ourselves and about our lives that aren't serving our highest and best interest. And definitely do some contemplation and meditation on what those are and where the root cause of them comes from. Does it come from childhood issues? Does it come forward from a past life that you may remember. And this is definitely saying that it's time to release and move on from those outmoded energies, those outmoded mental energies. Let's see what the third card says. Another 7 card. This is the 7 of fire. And this says, defend your beliefs and decisions, stand your ground, and choose your battles wisely. So again, to me, the 7 is about internal energies, and the fire here is about the spiritual element. I feel, again, there's a great need during this week with all 3 of these cards to kind of go within, connect with our inner wisdom, our inner guidance, our higher soul selves. Have trust and faith that whatever is going on is for your best and highest interest and taking you to the next step on your path. Because it might seem a little emotional, it might seem a little difficult, there might be things that you don't understand, and you just have to, again, have trust and faith that everything is happening for a reason. So here, again, with the rest of the message here, we're talking about standing your ground, standing in your spiritual truth. Feeling secure in what that spiritual truth is. So again, amongst all this change and transformation and transition and death and rebirth energies, don't forget that. Don't forget that you are a spiritual being, that everything is learning lessons, and you just need to stand in your truth and to not try to, what do I want to say? Be in your inner wisdom self, rather than directing any of those fears or anxieties outwardly to other people around you. That's what that says, is be in your inner wisdom self this week as you allow some of this transition and transformation to take place. Let's see what your special message is depending on what stone of choice you chose for this week. So I'm going to give the Archangel Michael deck a little bit of a shuffle here, and we're going to ask that whatever guidance needs to come forth. So this one on the bottom is ready to fall. This is going to be for the Celestite people. Keep your eyes on your targeted intention. So whatever plans you have, whatever desires you have, whatever ambitions that you're working towards, Archangel Michael is saying to keep your focus on that. Keep your eyes on the targeted intention. Don't waver from that. This, Archangel Michael here has a bow and an arrow in his hand, and you have to be really steady when you're using a bow and arrow to hit your target. So he's saying to stay calm, stay centered, stay steady and grounded as you're getting ready and as you're moving forward towards the next step on your path. Again, this is a huge transitional month for us. And this week, there seems to be a lot of transition and transformation going on. So again, what is your highest aspirations? What's your goals? What's your ambition? What's your life path all about? Where do you want to see yourself going as far as your destiny, career, relationship, whatever it might be? And keep your eyes firmly on what that is. Okay, and then if you chose the ametrine, okay, ametrine people, this one is sticking out saying that this is the message. This says that your home is protected by angels. Okay, now I get a message that this isn't just your physical home, your house, your apartment, but it's your family. And it's also your self, like your vehicle. The body that we're in, the physical body that we're in, is our physical vehicle. It's the home to our soul. So I really feel like this message from Archangel Michael is saying that, where you live is protected, your home and house is protected, your family is protected, whether it be biological family or like adopted family or friends and loved ones. And also, again, that you are protected, that you are divinely protected by the angels during this time of transformation and transition. So, let the worries go, let the fears and anxieties go, because you're definitely being divinely guided and protected as you move throughout this week. Okay. And then for those of you that chose the lapis, okay, this one on the bottom says that it's the one. you know, this is almost the same as the last message. You're guarded and protected. So here, Archangel Michael again, you know, divinely guarded and protected, or if you want to say divinely guided and protected, there's a lot of protection for us this week as we move forward through whatever these transition and changes and redirections are all about. And again, this showed up in the monthly angel card reading, and now we know that it looks like the second week of September is when there's a lot of things that are going to be taking place for us. A lot of things that are going to be opening our eyes to things, a lot of things that we need to let go because it's old energy. And this can also relate to you know, old physical energy. You know, it could be actually cleansing and purging your house, your office, on a physical level, but definitely dealing with mind energies and belief systems. But again, for those that chose the lapis, you are very much protected by Archangel Michael. In fact, this one definitely shows him much more clearly with a sword of protection. So I feel like an added message here for you is that you might call upon him to kind of what do I want to say, cut away those outmoded ideas and beliefs that you're holding on to that are no longer in your highest and best interest. Maybe even cut away relationships that aren't serving your highest and best interest. And allowing yourself to, again, release any energies, almost like doing an energetic spiritual cleansing on yourself to cleanse away anything that is not vibrating at your highest intention. So definitely we have a lot of guidance, protection this week as we move forward through these transitioning energies and death and rebirth energies that are going on. So I send you much love and light and many, many angel blessings as you move forward on your path.